The welterweight division is in a terrible place when you have people talking and trying to amp up a unification between Devin Haney and Lewis Crocker. Hardcore rapper, but he's glossy. In this video, that's what we're going to talk about. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, I've been saying this for a minute. The welterweight division, normally a glamour division in boxing. You've seen Manny Pacquiao, Felix Tito Trinidad, Oscar, I do believe, De La Hoya, obviously Floyd Mayweather, Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, Keith Thurman, a lot of great names that has been their stomping ground. Adrian Broner, big names we're talking about, right? And Sean Porter, Ugas, the list, Kell Brook, he was definitely a good fighter at welterweight. The list goes on and on. This new current welterweight picture, buns. Like, normally it's pretty fun to kind of mix and match the fights, like what you want to see. But now you see it on the screen. Lewis Crocker is calling for the fight. He said, I want the biggest fight in the division. It's so funny. The fact that this is being called the biggest fight in the division is terrible. Like, just terrible. We're in terrible times in the welterweight division. And Lewis Crocker, he's very unknown this side of the pond. I don't even know what to say. You know, for me, I would have loved to see if Jaron Ennis stayed at the division, Devin versus Jaron Boots Ennis, something like that. But Lewis Crocker is just not cutting it. And I've told you guys for a while, for me, it's not just about belts because the belts don't really matter. You got Joshua about to fight Jake Paul and do crazy numbers on Netflix, and there's no belt. So I've been saying this for a minute, and y'all like, no, it's all about the belts, Ego. You're wrong. Am I? How am I wrong if I'm all the way right? Makes no sense, right? And if this is the welterweight division's best offering, it's like Devin almost might as well move up to 54. You know what I mean? Because 54, see, and this is the crazy thing about boxing is like you'll get a guy like Devin and he'll camp out at a 147 and the division right above it has all the opportunities versus Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner, y'all can say what you want about him, but he is cut from a different cloth. 4-division champ by the age of 24. Facts. He beat the number one person at 135 in Antonio DeMarco at that time. Beat a champion, made it look easy. In fact, it's my favorite Broner performance of his whole career, right? And then he fought like a Gavin Reese. Seen there weren't like big names at 35 because Crawford wasn't there at that time, right? And there weren't no big names for him to fight. So he jumped up 2 weight classes to fight Paulie Malignaggi. And then very next fight, he fought Maidana, you know? And that's another great fighter who's been in the welterweight picture in the last several years. But now it's just the game is weak. And it's funny to see the Haneyacks, they don't even know who Lewis Crocker is, but they're trying to spin it and flip it like this is some great fight. Again, if your claim to fame of a fight being a great fight is the mere fact that it's a unification because this guy has a belt and this guy has a belt, have at it, enjoy. But I'm a diehard boxing head, and we're at a point where unifications aren't necessarily interesting because the belts, how do you say it? Back in the day, like if Shane Mosley beat Oscar De La Hoya, Oscar was the man. He had beat Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. You know what I mean? So he was like the man. So when you beat, it was different back in the day because you're beating an upstanding and long-standing champion. You're not beating somebody who got a belt through a vacancy and they've had it for 2-3 months, a year, and fought nobody. That is not the same. And people try to flip it. They want me to be wrong so bad, but not this time, Utah. I know it's like acid in your mouth, right? You want me to be wrong. You want my talking points not to make sense, but it don't work like that. Just because two guys have a belt, it don't really, in today's boxing, it don't really mean much, right? It don't mean much. Like if I were to ask you without Wikipedia, without ChatGPT, without Google, without BoxRec, name 2 or 3 fights from Lewis Crocker. Okay, y'all wouldn't be able to do it. And then do a lie detector test that you watch those fights live when they happen. So people are like, oh man, no one wants to fight Devin. Bro, this is the oldest trick in the book. And the bottom line is I'm not accepting that. I'm not accepting that. Devin Haney looked bigger than Brian Norman. Go fight at 54 then. If you can't get no good fights, see if you can get a catchweight. Boots said he will fight you at a catchweight. Maybe you could do that at 152. You see what I'm saying? Like a real warrior, you're going to go in search of the fights, right? You're going to go in search of the fights. To be honest, I'd rather see Devin Haney and Conor Benn. I don't care about no belt. Like if you're Devin and his team and his dad and Bill Haney, they'd be like, oh, we want to make the best fights. Conor Benn is a bigger fight than the unification, right? Fight Conor Benn and then the winner fight Lewis Crocker maybe. You know what I mean? Or put it this way, put Conor Benn, that's what they should do. I just thought of it. I'm a genius. Put Lewis Crocker in with Conor Benn, UK versus UK, and then you fight the UK winner of that because that person will then have the belt. And for my money, I would pick Conor Benn over Lewis Crocker. That's me personally. So, yeah, just troubled times in the welterweight division. I have very little interest in Devin Haney. Let's see if Turkey and them want to pay for it. But they're doing budget cuts, so this might be right up their alley, to be honest, the type of fight that they want, because you're going to have to pay Devin good money. He's a champion. He performed well with Brian Norman, but pay Lewis Crocker something okay because he's a champion, but not as big of a name. And, you know, you put the fight on. I don't think the fight would cost as much, at least on the Lewis Crocker side, right? So, yeah, I'm not excited for 2026 in the welterweight division unless we start getting some real action, like Ryan Garcia, Barrios turns out to be a good fight, but there needs to be a lot of development in the welterweight division. Peace. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I can provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new, but even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate, so ultimately you can realize all of your online goals. Use my affiliate link in the description and grow your channel fast.